Devimon was the first antagonist we were introduced to not only in the Digimon Adventure series, but the Digimon series as a whole, so wouldn't it be fitting for him to make his grand return in the new Digimon 2020 reboot? Let's discuss the reasons why he should return, why he shouldn't return, and how he could possibly return. Let's start off with why he should return. Devimon has returned countless times throughout the Digimon series, and in many different forms, whether it's Ice Devimon or Marine Devimon, or even as a ghostly voice haunting Ken. He has made various returns in some way, shape or form, so why not have him return here in Digimon 2020? In the Fire Island storyline at the start of the original Digimon Adventure, Devimon proved to be a smart and calculating villain. Firstly, he got Angemon and Liam to be his subordinates. With Angemon, it didn't really take much effort, but with Liam, it did. Every time Liam tried to strike down Devimon, Devimon would use his touch of evil and get him under his spell, which shows that Devimon has a lot of composure under pressure, especially with an angry Liam charging at him. He tricked the Digidestined with an illusion of that big mansion and the gourmet food and beds for them to sleep in, and whilst they were all tucked away in bed, that's when Devimon unleashes his plan to separate them all, attacking them when all of their guards are down. It was an effective move on his part, which highlighted his patience and planning. He chose for the Digidestined to enjoy an entire day inside that mansion, and then he strikes. Most villains would lose their cool and strike straight away, but Devimon meticulously waited for the perfect time to strike. Devimon also led to probably the most iconic moment in the Digimon Adventure series, the birth of Angemon. Angemon absorbed all the Digidestined Digivice's power and unleashed a hand of fate, striking Devimon through the chest, like how Piccolo used his special beam cannon and went through both Raditz and Goku. Very similar to that, and after that attack we see both Devimon and Angemon disintegrating, and we see Devimon just laughing and mocking Angemon at the Digidestined efforts, which shows that he really doesn't care. He knows he will be back to haunt them. He was in it for a short time, but when he was in it, he proved to be a very effective villain. He also had the black gears, which were getting Digimon under his control and turning them evil. So Devimon as a villain, I would say he's very overlooked by the fanbase. It's probably because he's the first villain, but still, Angemon had to absorb everyone else's power to take down Devimon, and Angemon is stronger than a regular champion, so give Devimon the respect he deserves. Now let's go over why he shouldn't return. Like I said earlier, we have seen Devimon making appearances throughout the adventure series. Even if it's not him exactly, there have been other forms of him making little cameos here and there. He was a calm, collected, composed villain. But the one thing that always rubbed me the wrong way, and it's not only him but other villains suffer from this trait as well, is that he can be quite lazy. I prefer villains who are always proactive in their approach and not just let a plan commence and let it be a success, but also expand on that plan. When Devimon separated the kids, and for argument's sake let's just say he wins in this scenario against the Digidestined, Devimon then takes Fire Island and the prophecy of him being defeated is no more. So what's next? What's his plan after that? Is he just going to chill in Fire Island, or is he going to get stronger and digivolve into maybe Daemon and one day try and take control of more parts of the digital world? But from what we have seen in the opening arc in Digimon with Devimon, we didn't get any ideas that he would be proactive and try and take more control of the digital world. After the Digidestined got separated, he was just sitting on his throne getting his minions to do his dirty work. If he went down and did it himself, he might have actually beaten the Digidestined. So when he wants to hatch out a plan, he is the guy, but once the plan is executed and the plan works out, he becomes complacent and lazy, which is the reason, for me anyway, why he shouldn't return. Now let's go over how he will return. TK is going to have a major role in the 2020 series. We can all agree on that, right? So before TK meets Patamon, why not have Patamon be infected with the virus? That instead of transforming him into Angemon, it digivolves him into Devimon. They could do a split personality thing with Patamon. Patamon is good, but the virus is too much and brings out the darkness within him. And TK and the rest of the Digidestined have to find a way to defeat the virus within Patamon. But imagine if that expands and the virus gets stronger and Patamon ends up being one of the main antagonists of the series. That would be a solid twist for them to do. It's similar to Mekomon, but Mekomon was out of control, whilst if you do the split personality, you can have Devimon remain calm and composed instead of mentally losing it like the way Mekomon did in Tri. Devimon could have his own plan to take over the digital world, but Angemon is trying to fight the darkness away, whilst TK is in the middle, still a kid not knowing what to do. The stakes would be very high if that ended up happening. That is one way I think they can get Devimon back. How would you guys bring him back? And do you guys want him back in the first place? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, care for nothing.